how y'all doing? This is Stormy Mattison with Stormy Matt TV, and I'm blessed to be here. Always, if you watching, you blessed to be here too. And this is Stormy Matt TV, a place for realtors, business owners, and prospective clients. I hate to ask this, only if it makes sense, share. Only if it makes sense, subscribe. Only if it makes sense, do all those social media things for us. Only if it makes sense. Today, we're going to be talking about how to start a business with no money. I got about 5 good tips for you on how to start a business with no money. Now I'm going to start off by saying this because I don't like pump faking. I like to keep it real. I don't highly advise it, but I'm going to give you 5 strategic or synopsises where you could possibly start a business with no money. Number 1, what you need to do is you need to start with what you have. So what I mean by that, what skills do you have? What experience do you have? What knowledge do you have? What tangible resources do you have right now? So a lot of times we think about what we don't know, but you need to think about what you do know. Warren Buffett says that he likes to operate in his circle of competence. So he's fine with not understanding something if it's not in his circle of competence. So this is the question, number 1 question you need to ask yourself: what is your circle of competence? And this could be anything, man. This could be anything. Maybe you do hair, you know how to braid. Maybe you know how to paint. Your dad was a painter as a kid and you do it on the side now. Maybe you're an electrician, you're good with your hands, or you did car work on the side. Maybe you're good with the computer. What is your circle of competence? And with that circle of competence, what do you tangibly have? Do you have a computer? Do you have the tools to get these things done? What do you have? Because once you establish what do you have, then you'll know what you don't have and what you need to get. Number 2, who do you know? What's your relationship stock? What does your relationship stock look like? If you need to go right now to ask somebody for $100, most people could say, hey, somebody probably lend me $100. What if you need to ask them for a couple thousand, $2,000? Do you have that type of relationship stock? Maybe you do, but maybe you need to make a list of people, your top 10 people, that if maybe they could be your financial backing if you told them if you was going into business for yourself or you have a certain idea. Number 3, invest what you can afford to lose. That's a double-edged sword. But if you already have some money saved, you probably say, well, Storm, if I had money saved, you tell me this video says how to start a business with no money. Well, if you had the money saved, you had either was there for emergencies or maybe you had a plan for it. What I'm saying is, if you decide to go into business, whether you don't have any money or somebody's going to give you money, whether a bank, a private investor, whatever, it takes money, right? So if you do decide to use some of your own money, make sure that you only invest what you can afford to lose. Because what happens if you do that, it takes the headache of when you lose that, it wasn't hurting your bills, your main financial obligations. Now that's a double-edged sword, because what if all you got to lose really ain't enough to get the business going? Because what happens is when you're in business, you want the business to be profitable, and it's a lot of business that can be profitable quickly, but most of the time we fail because we see a lot of money coming in the business, but the business isn't actually profitable. So there's a difference. Just because the business makes a lot of money don't mean it retains and gets to keep a lot of money. So what's your profit margin and all that? Number 4, you just have to experiment and adapt. So what makes better sense than experiment small and then just multiplying it? So I say experiment and adapt. Experiment and adapt. Eventually you're going to have to bring people in, train them on what you're doing, and build a team. But in order to do that, you as yourself need to get overwhelmed to where you need to hire somebody, where you need to train somebody. But you have to understand, you're gonna take experiments, you're gonna be trying stuff, and when something happens, you need to be able to quickly adapt. Not let your emotions get too much into it to where you try something in business and now you feel bad because you tried it and it went wrong and you don't want to go again. So I'm gonna tell you this right here. about myself in business. Now I'm 32 years old. When I was 27, I had my first restaurant, the Smoke Shack. Loved it, man. I mean, numbers for the first 3 months blew it out the water. Traditionally, after a couple months, it started to slow down. Sad to say, after a year or so time, the people that we were leasing the building from here in Anderson, South Carolina, decided to sell it to somebody, and they kicked all of us out. So it was heartbreaking because, man, that was our baby, man. That we was able to do our food, we was able to do shows. It was everything that you would want in business, and it was profitable. But the way that we set it up, we weren't owning of the property, so we had to leave, and then we went to another place, and we opened up another restaurant, and it was on a golf course, and it wasn't what we expected. But now we had winging it, and we had learned from those mistakes that we made, and we've been established in business there. So I say all of to say, you have to try things, and when you're trying those things and experimenting, sometimes you lose money, but you learn. So you learn not to do that again, not to put your hand on that stuff again. You learn what to do, and if you don't keep an open mind, you don't learn what not to do, or you won't learn what to do if your mind is not open. Tip number 5, I believe this is the biggest tip. You have to plan not to long-term be the business. So long-term, you don't want to be the business. What I mean by that is, yeah, you may start off with, you start off putting in the work, putting in the grind, but if you never entrust in people, to train people to do what you do, to deliver the same caliber of service, to be an ambassador, extension of you, then you'll always have to be the business. You always have to be the business. I remember when I was working with AT&T, they said it was like 10 of us in the room. They said that each person in the room, they had spent $28,000 for the training, which was about 2 weeks in the class and about another month actually in the actual profession at the store. They said they spent that much money on each person. Why would they spend it? Because whatever their philosophy, their mission statement is, the people that they bring in, they want them to be an extension of them. So if you want to have leverage and open a multiple business, franchise, have multiple clients, you have to have people trained up and they can give your service or quality of work or product in different areas. So that's a mindset that you have to have. So do I honestly believe that you can start a business with no money? I do. I believe that what you have to do is you really have to have good relationships with people, and you will have to have been a solid type person that people will entrust in you and give you a shot. And if they give you a shot, I say, man, pay them back. If that's what they want, pay the person back that gave you a shot. Do what you said you was gonna do with them, because if you do it, even if you do it in a small scale, eventually somebody will pour to you in a bigger scale. People are tangible, and they just want you to do what you said you were gonna do. So I don't care what you plan on doing, whether it's starting a small jewelry store, or starting a trucking company, or flipping fixed property, whatever, help start your paint business, whatever that person that you asking for who has it, if you can't give it back to them, because you never know down the road, you may meet them again, or you may meet somebody like them again and pour into your business. So I believe it's possible to start a business with no money. I don't believe it's the best idea. I believe that we as people, we should partner with the right people. We should build our personal credit. We should building our business credit that we can leverage, and we should talk to professionals in those avenues to see how we can raise capital to start our business and to stay in business and understand the business and to see if it's profitable, and can we handle the profitability that business gives. Because as people, a lot of us, we have the wrong idea about how much a business will profit. The restaurant industry, people love to say, man, because we come from restaurants, they were like, man, I want to own a restaurant, and they don't realize that some restaurant profits margins are below 5%, but their gross income is up a lot, so that below 5% is still a good number for them, but it may not do well with just one restaurant. So know what you're supposed to be getting in return. Keep it simple, keep it stupid simple, really. Keep your business stupid simple, where a 6th grader could run it. And if you do that, you can have a McDonald's where they got 16-year-olds running McDonald's all over the world, man. So I believe it's possible. This is Stormy Matt with Stormy Matt TV. Pays for business owners, realtors, and or prospective clients. Again, if you feel the need to share, if you feel the need to like it, if it was worth it, please do those things. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Have a great day.